Good afternoon and welcome to the Secrets, Energy and Harmonics Revolution Conference, November of 2009 here in Tempe, Arizona. I'm Dr. Chet Snow and I'm your host for this weekend. And it is my great privilege this afternoon to talk a little bit about crop circles, because actually, as most of you know who have been to our conferences before, crop circles have been a long-time love of both my wife and myself, something that both of us have felt are very important and have not been well known. They are getting to be better known little by little. I've been actually going to England, where they have been appearing for 25 years or more every summer for the last 18 years. And my wife has joined me in most of those trips. So one of the people who has been furthering this research, because sacred geometry is part of the crop circle message, is also a fellow Sedonan from here in Arizona. And so we've known Fred for several years. He is an accomplished woodworker, study of the Keys of Enoch, of the J.J. Hurtak material, of sacred geometry, and also in the last several years he has quite beautifully been able to marry up much of his knowledge of the sacred geometry with the crop circle phenomenon. And he even last year went to England, where he spoke at the Wiltshire Crop Circle Study Group Convention in August of 2008. So, without further ado, I want to have Fred come up and he will give a talk. Then we'll have a very, very short break, and then we will go into my final talk, closing of the conference, and showing you a slide-orama of all of the crop circles from England from 2009, the whole season. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Snow. I was really honored when he asked me to take over this talk for him because of his medical problems, and also very happy. So I put together a talk about the 2009 crop circle season, and in it you'll find other things that I was able to do through drawing the circles and making them into things. But the first thing to go to is, again, our question of who made the crop circles. We can tell that this one here is very finely developed, but this one looks like it was made by the people that did the studies at the local pubs. So we have two classes of crop circles. We have like perfect ones, and we have the ones made by the men with boards. So the question is, who really made them, or how are they made? Because we know that some crop circles have got bent nodes. This is in a rapeseed crop, and the plants are bent over, they are not broken. And if we do this with boards, we know we break the plants, whereas here we have bent nodes. Another thing that happens is we have blown nodes. So this is a piece of wheat, and where the wheat goes into the next part of the stem, it has a little section where water vapor obviously got blown by microwaves or something, because it got heated up to blow this hole into them. Another thing that happens in the crop circles is the fact that we sometimes find magnetic stones inside the circles where we don't find them outside the circles. So to show you something that happens, or how things can be created, I have this little video to bring here. And if I put this down, I can play this video from Hans Jenny on cyclomatics that shows you what happens when sound is applied to salt. And you can see the thing doing there. If I can get more volume here. There we go. So the sand is causing different formations by the sound. They're putting more sand on it and raising the pitch and frequency of the sound. And here we have a new formation. And another formation. So it's rather amazing, the fact that sound causes geometry. So the pitch gets higher and higher, and the shapes vary again. We're going to go into another one, more complex. Looks like the infinity symbol. Then we go to squares, back to circles. So this video is available for those that want on YouTube. Do a search for Hans Jenny or ebombsworld.com, and you can find out more about these sound-causing actions that cause actually geometry to appear. So now if we go back down, and go back to the slideshow. Okay. View. Okay, we gotta go up here to this picture. View slideshow. There we go. So the broken nodes and the bent stalks cause crop circles to appear in certain fields. And sound, I believe, is one of the ways that they are chosen to make it formed, because the sound like a dog whistle, we can't hear it, but dogs can. We don't hear the whole spectrum of sound. So there could be many, many levels of sound that we're not aware of that can cause crop circles to form by the thoughts. And some of the masters that I believe form the sounds are in my Keys book, which again I've studied for 25 years. I believe I was given this book in a bookstore by an angel, and I had it in 1987 on. And in this book, J.J. Hurtak describes an experience of how he was taken by Enoch up to Metatron and was downloaded this book in 3 days' time. So it's a very important book in our stature that uses many, many quotes from the Bible and many things of future science that have already happened that were predicted, that he wrote in this book in 1973, 36 years ago. In the glossary of this book, it talks about the seraphim, and the seraphim are angelic minds of light, and a seraph computer is a thinking entity which administers knowledge perpetually at the lower heavens by being part mind and part machine. So this, again, is a very hard concept for us to understand, how these seraphim can be possibly beings or masters that are, with their thoughts, creating some of the crop circles. Because the sacred geometry in the crop circles, if you really study it and analyze it, will help you awaken parts of yourself to help you remember who you really are. And that's the main message that there is in the crop circles. This crop circle now is the first crop circle of the year. It was in Ridgeway, England, April 12th. And if you put a stone like in the center here and were to observe this crop circle on the first day of winter, it would probably go along this line, and on the first day of summer, it would show this line. So this is like a sundial. That's what they were representing. But it was the first message for us to look at the sun. There were 7 crop circles this year that pointed to a special event that we'll get to in this talk. This crop circle also is a few days later, and this is a sun symbol in the middle, a pre-Columbian American symbol, and here it is in the crop field designating the sun. Here we have another sun with flares coming out. So now the message is to watch for a solar flare, but we don't know when. So our science cannot really tell us when we're going to have solar flares. All they can do is observe the sunspots through the SOHO project. But the messages of the crop circles here are telling us to possibly look for a solar flare.